I remember when Rock was young. Me and Susie had so much fun. Hey, hey. Never knew me a better time, and I guess I never will. My sister stole a Crocodile Rock t-shirt from me in high school. Oh, actually, in high school. It wasn't college. It wasn't like last year. No, she stole this from me 5 or 6 years ago, and she still has my Crocodile Rock t-shirt. And every single time she's wearing it, I'm saying, "Hey, I bought that shirt with my own money. It's actually my shirt." And she says, "Oh, is it?" And she doesn't give it back to me. And I actually still want it because that is like a vintage Crocodile Rock t-shirt and has Elton John in like a very cute, and it's oversized and it's really cute. And she literally took it from me and wears it to sleep. She doesn't even, that's the ultimate diss. I would wear that shirt in the world. She wears that shirt to go to bed and she still won't give it back to me, and I haven't really been in a position where I can like go in her closet myself because we live in different cities so that I can actually get my shirt back. So that song actually holds a lot of malice from in my heart, actually. Okay, well, let's get to business because literally, dog, I just watched, well, I hope I'm saying it right because it's actually my favorite movie I've ever seen in my life. I've just watched Pillion with Alexander Skarsgard. Alexander Skarsgard. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, so you want to play games. And I actually can play games too. I'm actually competitive. Alexander Skarsgard. Okay, look, I've obviously talked many times about people that I love and have parasocial relationships with, and truly I'm like, there's only one person in this world for me, and it's John Bernthal, or it's Andrew Garfield, or it's Dylan O'Brien. You know, we keep on going. Alexander Skarsgård is actually the only man for me. I truly think he's like a nuanced version of a man. And there's so many disappointing men. You know what I mean? There's so many men out there that I'm just, I don't even want to talk about this really because I don't want to keep complaining about the state of men, because I do believe that we can turn this shit around and actually become Alexander Skarsgårds and become nuanced men who are hot and actually are thoughtful and interesting people. You know what I'm saying? Alexander Skarsgård represents to me like someone who ages like a fine wine. Probably the only man besides Ross Lynch that I'm like, it's okay that you're blonde, and it's actually great that you're blonde. His style is on, literally his style, dude. He has the best male style since, like, he has the style of a gay man, honestly. He has the style of, like, Chadwick Boseman level style. He has style like Coleman Domingo level of style. His style and his, like, little short shorts that he wears as a grown-ass, tall-ass man? Yeah, that's me. Hey, that's me. That's me and my brain in a male form. It's actually, like, not even, like, a thing of, like, we're connected. It's, like, I'm him. If I was born where he was born and the age that he was, I would actually be him. And also in the movie Pillion, I'm not someone that really watches movies and I'm like, that's me. I see myself in that movie, right? That's not really my tea. Like, I'm fine watching a movie and being like, I love seeing people's stories, but it's not really like I completely relate to every story that I see. I rarely see myself represented on screen. Literally, dog, Pillion is the first time I've ever seen a relationship where I was like, yeah, this is actually a documentary of my life, and I'm actually Ray, Alexander Skarsgård character, if Ray was a 5-foot woman and not a biker. That would be me. And everyone I've ever dated is literally Colin. And you think it's an over-exaggeration. You think I'm kidding. You think, oh, she's playing a joke. No. This is actually the first time I've ever seen the way that I function in relationships on screen. And I'm looking you in the eyes through my sunglasses. I'm telling you the fucking truth. That is the first time. I relate so much to Alexander Skarsgård's character. I see myself in him. I see myself in that relationship dynamic. And honestly, I see my boyfriends in Colin's character. And you might wonder, why would you be with someone like that? Like, you can do so much better than that. And you're right, but honestly, they add such a convenience and such an uplift to my life that I don't have to take care of things that I don't want to take care of, that it's worth it to have them in my life. And I feel like it's an equal partnership just because my presence and my beauty is so above theirs that I'm literally like, okay, I'll be in a relationship with you if you cook and clean and do everything I say when I say it. And that's just how I've been in relationships. And you know what's crazy is I'm actually starting a new relationship right now with, honestly, we're following the same pattern with this guy, but he's the hottest one I've ever had. It's like every time I get a boyfriend, I upgrade. And he is the best version of my boyfriends that I've had so far. I friggin' love this guy! Anyways, Pillion. I actually meant to see Pillion with Zoe when I was in London because it came out in London before it came out in the United States. And we were at a fish and chips like little diner in London, and then we were going to go see this movie, and I actually passed out in a foreign country at a fish and chips diner. I lost consciousness because I guess my iron levels were really low, I guess. I mean, that's the only thing that could have happened. And we didn't go see the movie, but I really wanted to see it. And I literally had to go on 1-2-3 Movies to watch it today. Which 1-2-3 Movies is probably the longest lasting relationship in my life. Like, from the moment I had a phone, which I think I was like in I was younger than that. I think I was in 5th grade that I had an iPod Touch. I did not have a phone yet, but I had an iPod Touch when I was in 5th grade that I shared with my little sister. And on that iPod Touch, I would watch 1-2-3 Movies because I'm like, if you check Netflix and Hulu and HBO and fucking Peacock and you check Tubi and you check everything and you still cannot find this goddamn movie, you go to 1-2-3 Movies. Honestly, when you're desperate, but at the end of the day, it's like if you are able to get through enough pop-up windows that you actually get to watch the movie, it's like a reward, and it actually connects me back to who I once was, of like, I've been doing this my whole life. Like, this is who I really am. You know what I mean? Like, this is an activity that I probably will do for the rest of my life. And 1-2-3 Movies is just always there for you. Like, you know that interview that Trisha Paytas did on Big Brother where she's like, people will cheat on you, friends will hurt your feelings, pizza will never hurt your feelings, pizza will always be there for you. That's how I feel about 1-2-3 Movies. Is I'm like, 1-2-3 Movies will never hurt my feelings. Yes, Angela wants to see me. Yes, I keep getting told Angela lives near me and she wants to see me and have sex with me and she's naked. Okay, like, I can click X 20,000 times if I have to in order to watch a movie that I want to watch. Because I have persistence. Because I'm a diligent person. It's because I know that at the end of the day, no matter how hard I have to fucking work, they're going to deliver. And there's a trust. There's a trust there. But yeah, I had to go on 1-2-3 Movies to watch Pillion because I didn't really feel like going to the movie theater. I am so confused. I'm not a smart man. I'm not a smart man. I still don't really understand the AMC movie subscription thing because they have a free one, which I've been using to get like free popcorn on Tuesdays or whatever. And then they have one that you pay $17 a year for, which I don't even fucking know what it does, but for some reason one night I just bought it because I was like, okay, bet. Because I low-key thought it was the A-list subscription. The A-list subscription is you pay like 20-something bucks, a month to go see 4 movies a week. It's so complicated. Just be like, you get 1 free movie a week. Like, make it fucking simple and make it 1-year subscription. You know what I mean? But doing like $27 a month is a lot of money in my mind. But in reality, if I go see a movie a week, it is way more than that. Or if I even go and then buy popcorn and watch 1 movie a month, it's still more than that. So it makes sense to get it. But then I'm like, whoa. I don't know what my situation financially is going to be in 3 months. So this feels like a commitment I'm not really ready for. You know what I mean? So I'm still a little trepidatious about the AMC movie subscription thing, but I think I'll honestly think I'll end up falling for it and just do it because I love going to the movie theater so much. And even I used to do this thing with my friend in college who I was in a very short-term friendship with. He was a coworker, and one night we were talking about Megan when Megan came out. I was in college, but we were like, yeah, I really want to see that. And then we were like, oh, we should just go see it together. And he was a straight guy, and I've never had a straight friend before, like a straight guy friend before. But he was giving slushy noobs. Like, he was giving a safe, very like non-threatening guy. And he was a safe, non-threatening guy. But the friendship only lasted a little bit because he wanted to literally go see a movie every fucking weekend. And he loved the routine of it. And I literally was like, you know what? Some weekends I don't want to fucking go see a movie unless they actually want to go see it. I don't want to go see a random fucking movie that I have no interest in because it's a waste of time. I know what I like. I know what I don't like. I'm not going to want to go see an action movie. I want to go see a horror movie. I don't want to go see a fucking rom-com. I want to go see a drama. You know what I'm saying? I know what I like. I want to see like a Y2K movie. I don't want to see a medieval period piece. You know what I'm saying? So I don't need to see a movie every week unless I want to. Whereas he wanted to see a movie every single weekend, regardless of if there's a movie out or not. And that's why the friendship lasted so little, is because I saw like 2 or 3 movies that I was not into. And I was like, okay, like if this is the one time we see each other, it's gotta stop. Like that's the thing, is it's like, I am not willing to make myself uncomfortable by choice, to please other people by any means, no matter how close you are to me. Whether we're like in a romantic relationship or in a platonic friendship or even coworkers, like I am not about to make my life any harder than it already is. I'm only interested in making my life more enjoyable and easier. And I don't understand why that's not every single person's mentality. Like, it is so much easier and more fruitful to be single. So why would you ever be in a relationship with someone that doesn't make your life easier? And almost every girl I've ever met, when they've dated a person, it's made their life harder in some way. And I'm like, if I was ever dating someone and they made my life harder in any shape or form at all, I would literally break up with them on the spot. Well, I would have a conversation with them, and then if they didn't back down or understand my perspective, it would literally be like, oh, you don't get it? Okay, bye. I'm not interested in this anymore. And I'm not kidding. I'm literally not kidding. And I don't understand why everyone's not like that. Because it makes your life great. While I was in the shower, I was listening to Sabrina Carpenter's album, Man's Best Friend, because she had recently lost at the Grammys. And that album is a grower, not a shower. Like, I listened to it on first listen, and Tears and When Did You Get Hot were the only ones I liked. And all of them I was like, It was giving, like, Sex and the City, which if you love Sex and the City, then you'll love this album. But I don't really like Sex and the City. And I know I'm someone that should love it because I love women and I love New York and I love, like, I love HBO shows, like, and I love culture, pop culture, and that show has formed so much pop culture. That being said, I literally couldn't even get past the first episode because, once again, Mr. Big made Carrie's life so much harder, and she kept on going back to him, and I'm like, why do you hate yourself? That's what it literally says to me. When people get pregnant, or when people are in relationships with people and it's a struggle, they're dating Mr. Struggle and they keep going back for more, I'm literally like, why do you hate yourself? Why do you want to be in pain? Why do you want to add a headache or even a troublesome thought to your brain at all? Literally, like, why? Why do you want to do that? Like, you hate yourself. Like, it makes me feel bad. I'm like, why do you hate yourself? Why are you miserable? Just like chaos. But that was what that show was giving, was like a beautiful, gorgeous woman who's very interesting, hates herself. And so she's trying to ruin her life in any way, shape, or form she can by completely dedicating herself to someone who's never liked her and never will, and is ruining her life. And after the first fucking episode, I was like, the aesthetic is literally chill as fuck. It's giving Gilmore Girls level of like, this is a dream-like perfect aesthetic for what it is. But I really couldn't handle it. That being said, Man's Best Friend is very much giving the song, like the musical version of Sex and the City, in the sense that Man's Best Friend is very much giving like you treat me badly, but I still am gonna be in a relationship with you. It's giving situationship. I've literally never had a situationship in my life. I literally haven't. Because once again, if I'm like, oh, you want to play games? We can play games. We can play games, and the game is I win, you lose, I'm never talking to you again on the first mistake, in the first red flag. Bye! Bye. Okay, game over. That's literally how I play games. So when she's giving sugar talking as like, put your loving where your mouth is, it's such a good song, though. She has a lot of songs, and I don't like to speak ill of women. But actually, no. That's not even true. But I like to speak ill of men mostly. But I will say with Sabrina Carpenter, Emails I Can't Send is still my favorite album of hers. I think Tornado Warnings is perfect. I think it's a perfect song. I think Read Your Mind is a perfect song. I think her songwriting on that album was perfect. Hey, by the way, her best fucking song is the title track, Emails I Can't Send, off of Emails I Can't Send, and the song being about her dad. Yeah, that's the best song she's ever written, and I'm like, hey, give me an entire album of songs like that. That song is like, once again, maybe a minute fucking long, and I played that song on repeat. That's how good that song is I could listen to it 60 times in an hour. I love that song, and it's such good songwriting. It's actually real, and I'm like, girl, if you just didn't talk about toxic relationships, then you would have a song, you would have the Great American Songbook at your fingertips. I'm not even kidding. But she writes about situationships, she writes about toxic relationships, and I'm like, girl, I don't want to listen to that because that's like bad juju. That's bad energy. You know what I mean? Like, for example, the song from Ariana Grande that's like, just a little bit of your heart, just a little bit of your heart, just a little bit is all I'm asking for, just a little bit. I literally love that song because Ariana Grande sounds like a fucking flowing river in that song. But it's like, no, bitch, I don't want a little bit of your heart. I want your whole heart and your body and your soul. That song, the only reason I'm listening to it is because it has godlike vocals. But there's bad energy in that song. I don't want to listen to songs where I'm like validating people treat me badly. I want to listen to songs that's like tears. You know, that's a song from Sabrina Carpenter that's like, when you treat me right, I get sexually attracted to you. That is a good song. That's good juju. I don't know. She's such a talented songwriter, and I want to see her write about more than just that, because for me personally, I don't want to listen to music about that. Oh my gosh, Lighter Girls is so good too. And after Man's Best Friend, I'm going to give you my Letterboxd top 4 Sabrina Carpenter songs. Number 1 is Emails I Can't Send. Don't Smile is number 2. Ooh, it's probably Feather. Ooh, I love Feather. And then maybe, okay, number 4 is always the hardest, dude. Number 4, I love Tears. I fucking love Tornado. It has to be Tornado Warnings for me. I fucking love that song. I love Read Your Mind. I love Fast Times. I love When Did You Get Hot? But literally Tornado Warnings, I'm lying to my therapist. She literally dotted her quill, and at candlelight, she literally wrote that out on parchment paper. Okay, that's how good that song is. It is prophetic. It is perfect. She's actually taking accountability in that song, which we don't hear Sabrina Carpenter take a lot of accountability in a lot of songs. A lot of it is, I blame your mom, I blame the other woman, which I don't like. Once again, bad energy, which is a red flag. But I'm more forgiving of women than I am men. So I'm like, if you're making Emails I Can't Send, if you're making fucking Tornado Warnings, I'll allow a taste from you, because that's how good those songs are. But once again, when she rips down other people, when she's like, I blame your mom because you're a bad man, when this guy's going down on me and then kissing you, you're tasting me, ha ha ha, in your face, I don't like that. And that's maybe the only, like, once again, I'm like, damn, oh man, dude, I fucking love Busy Woman. I love Busy Woman. I love Couldn't Make It Any Harder. Couldn't Make It Any Harder is like very much giving Hopelessly Devoted, and she's such a good singer. She's a great singer too. It just, yeah. I don't know. Can you tell I have a lot of complex emotions towards Sabrina Carpenter? I do. I also do not like what she did to Olivia Rodrigo, and I don't like Skin. And I understand everyone's like, it's not about Olivia Rodrigo, it's not about Olivia Rodrigo. All her fans say that. But literally, even if it's not about Olivia Rodrigo, it's like, it's still a very, like, not chill song. Like, you can't get under my skin because he's on my skin is such a fucking dick ass thing to say. I would never say that to someone. And she literally, quite frankly, put out that song at a very bad point where Olivia Rodrigo was like, I really like this girl, and it actually, like, breaks my heart even more that you're dating someone I like, and she's really nice, and she's really beautiful. It's not a read to say that you're 3 years older than me. It's not a read. I don't think that's an insult. I feel like that demonizes or even maybe infantilizes women of, like, you're only in your prime when you're young. I don't believe that. I believe that aging is beautiful, and I think aging is honestly very cool. And I think it's very punk rock to age naturally at this point if you're a woman. And so I don't think it is a read. And quite frankly, Olivia Rodrigo doesn't really tear down other women in her songs. So I don't think she meant it as a read. And intention is everything. And I think Sabrina Carpenter's intention was saying, in the song Skin, in the song Taste, ripping down Camila Cabello, I got your man, ha ha ha, I won. I don't like that. But then again, she's writing songs like Emails I Can't Send. I have such complex emotions. That being said, I think she's an amazing performer and I would go to her concert, which I guess means I would ultimately support Sabrina Carpenter. But I would really go to a lot of people's concerts. I would go to a Maroon 5 concert, and I don't even like Adam Levine, but I love Sunday Morning. I love Makes Me Wonder. Give me something to believe in, 'cause I don't believe in you anymore. Oh, that song is so good. I Won't Go Home Without You. That song from The Notebook is maybe one of my favorite songs ever written for a movie, and I actually have an issue that I don't hear anyone talking about, so I wonder if it's only a me issue. But the song from Heated Rivalry that is kind of like the song because it's a song they play in the scene where the hockey player is like, Kip, come down here, and then they make out, and it's like the most like momentous scene in the whole show. The song they play is like I do not like that song. It's like screamy, and it's not very melodic, and I don't really know what it's going for. I do not like that song. And I have to constantly hear it because I love Heated Rivalry so much. It's literally, that's the only thing I don't like about Heated Rivalry is that specific song. I find that song incredibly annoying and off-putting and, like, startling every time I hear it. And I'm like, damn it, like, please, for the love of fucking God, in season 2, put a song that's a little chiller as the momentous moment song. When they're playing Flightless Bird and a Twilight edit, I'm like, this is calming, this is relaxing, this is nostalgic, this is gorge, actually, this is gorge. Same thing with I Won't Go Home Without You from The Notebook. It's like, this is a gorge, nostalgic, perfect moment. That song is literally like fucking ding, 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 ding. It's fucking so, it's just a lot. And I understand it's like a hype moment and it's not as like emotional. It's not that it's not emotional, but it's not like as somber and maybe melancholic as those other two examples, but it's a lot. It's giving like the 30 Rock theme song. It's just like, you know what I mean? So please, for season 2, give us like a chiller song. Give us something like, the only part of The Materialist that I actually liked, besides cinematography, was the Japanese breakfast song that was like, that was a great song written for a movie. You know what I mean? You know what also kind of sucks? Back to the Sabrina Carpenter thing, I'm so sorry. It's not even about Sabrina Carpenter. It's actually about Barry Keoghan. I've never thought he was attractive. And I always hated Ryan Reynolds, even when everyone went through that moment where they were like, straight men love Ryan Reynolds. Even in that moment when everyone was like, LOL, Ryan Reynolds, I still did not like Ryan Reynolds. I've never liked him. I've never liked him. So the fact that people are now realizing he's a dick, I'm like, yeah, girl, watch one performance of him ever or see one interview of him ever. He's a stuck-up, narcissistic ass ass, not funny ass, wants to take up space in the room, misogynistic, toxic masculinity, insecure ass, probably tiny ass dick ass man. Okay? I'm gonna now speak up when I don't like men, because I think men need more hate and women need more love. And that's why I'm giving so much gray area to Sabrina Carpenter, because I'm like, at the end of the day, she's a fucking woman and writes and makes incredible art, so I'm gonna forgive her and I'm gonna forget. I'm gonna forgive. Because I still love her music so much, and I think that there's gray area. Like, it's so minor in this grand scheme of things. Barry Keoghan, to me, is unattractive. He's short, which is the cardinal sin for men. Based on what Sabrina Carpenter's alluding to, he gave his all for this new Beatles biopic, and I already don't want to watch it, and I probably will watch it because Harris Dickinson is in it, and I really love Harris Dickinson. But he's the only one I like, and I think he's an incredibly talented actor, and I think he actually will do a very good job as John Lennon. But I'm not a Paul Mescal girl, I'm not a Barry Keoghan girl, and I'm not a fucking Joseph Quinn girl. The thing is that every single one of those men besides Harris Dickinson is one of those ugly hot men. Or I guess they're just not my type. They're just not my type. They're just not my type. Harris Dickinson is my type, though, because have you seen Baby Girl? Oh, I liked Baby Girl, and everyone seems to have hated Baby Girl, and they're like, it was a mess. You know what? It kept me guessing, and I actually really loved it, and I think you guys are too hypercritical considering it was actually a hot-ass movie where we got to saw Nicole Kidman and fucking Harris Dickinson have a lot of sex scenes. Have fun for once in your fucking life. Okay? It was actually a gorge movie, and I actually think I had a lot to say, but y'all don't even want to care about that. Y'all just want to hate on it because it was a little bit complicated and it was a little bouncing off the walls insane. But it's I don't give up. I like that movie. And Harris Dickinson actually, I thought, gave an incredible performance in that movie. And I'm happy that movie exists. You know what I mean? Same with Pillion. I'm happy that movie exists because now I can point to something as finally being this movie represents a very important part of my life, that it finally represents how I've been in relationships. I'm not giving Julia Roberts and Hugh Grant in Notting Hill. I'm giving Pillion. You know what I mean? Barry Keoghan as Ringo, the fact that he basically completely lost interest in Sabrina Carpenter and gave up that relationship and just to dedicate himself to this role. This is the nauseating Austin Butler Elvis thing of stroking this gross masculine I want to play this male, most powerful person in the world character. Were you following what I just said? Basically, there's just straight male culture. It's a very small amount of things because you can't expand yourself past the very harsh walls of masculinity. But within the very small things that straight men allow themselves to is the Beatles and is Elvis. And so for these kind of ugly white straight men to be playing a biopic, which is already nauseating within itself, of straight white men, I'm how interesting is this story? Really, every biopic is the same. None of them are very different from each other. That's why Weird Al Yankovic biopic is the best biopic. Okay, is because it's actually funny and it's actually making fun of biopics. That movie is so good, by the way. If you have not watched Weird Al Yankovic biopic movie with Daniel Radcliffe playing Weird Al Yankovic, it is the best biopic ever and maybe the only one I like. It is so funny. And I love Weird Al Yankovic so fucking much. I know the full 10-minute version of the drive-thru song. Here we are in the drive-thru line, me and her, cars in front of us, cars in back of us, all just waiting to order. There's an idiot in a Volvo with his brights on behind me. I look out the window and scream, what are you trying to do, blind me? And the lady in the window's like... Anyways, I know the full 10-minute version, and I regularly listen to that song. I love Weird Al Yankovic. He was one of the first introductions I ever had to YouTube. It was literally Weird Al Yankovic, One Direction X Factor videos, and I think Kids React was my first introduction to YouTube in my life. And I would watch Weird Al Yankovic like White and Nerdy. I would watch the Fat video, the Fat parody, and I would watch the Drive Thru song, and I would really watch all of his songs. I love him. I love the Polka song. That song is so fucking hardcore, dude. And he's so funny, and he's so underrated. Like, oh, I love that man. I was looking through Tubi one night because I watched Terry Joe on Tubi, which was like the first Tubi movie I ever watched. And it was so fucking good. You guys know how I feel about Terry Joe. I love Terry Joe down. But I was looking through Tubi because Tubi is literally like thrifting, but for a streaming service. And I love Tubi. It might be one of my fave besides HBO Max streaming services. And on Tubi was the One Direction documentary. And I was like, whoa, am I about to do this? I think I'm about to do this. And I did it. And I had Uber Eated a Just Salad buffalo chicken Caesar wrap. Oh, my mouth's watering just thinking about it. And a fucking chocolate chip fucking cookie, bitch. And I was drinking a yuzu sparkling coconut water from Trader Joe's in a can, 60 calories, bitch. And I was watching the One Direction documentary. Dude, this movie, okay, so it's giving Uptown Girls in the fucking Coney Island fucking, like, Mad Hatter teacups ride, bitch. It's giving, I remember going to the movie theater with my sisters, with all of my sisters to go see the One Direction documentary. I remember sitting in the seats, and I was in like a movie theater full of people, and we were all screaming every time someone's favorite member came on. We would scream, I was a Zayn girl because I have taste, and I'm still validated in my choice. I've always been a Zayn girl, always will be a Zayn girl. Like, honestly, I honestly find it kind of crazy that not everyone's a Zayn girl because he's the hottest and the most talented and the coolest and, like, has the best taste. Like, what? But he was holding it down, by the way, in that documentary. He was, like, holding it down for the group. I understand why he fucking left, bitch. I know this is a brutal read, but it's the truth. You go watch that documentary back. You go see those live performances. Zayn is, like, pitch perfect carrying the entire band on his fucking back. I would have fucking left too, bitch. Y'all are, like, not at the level that Zayn was at. Zayn is, like, a songbird. Zayn is, like, giving, his voice is like a waterfall flowing. Ariana Grande, Mariah Carey, and a male hot man voice, okay? All the other men are, like, fine singers. I love them all. I have a love for all the other One Direction people. It's just I'm a Zayn girl, so I'm gonna defend my man. You know what I mean? And now I'm watching it in my New York apartment, eating a Just Salad Caesar wrap, and I'm looking at it as like a very horrifying thing that these men went through. We have evolved so much in our boundaries with celebrities. I know it's still awful in every way, shape, and form. I think it's going to take society a long time to have like an actually healthy relationship with fame. But in reality, it has completely changed in like 15 years, our relationship with celebrities. Gen Z, I'm part of Gen Z, right? I'm 22. I obviously grew up with One Direction. I remember like seeing like the fandom of like they're in the world, there's a group of people surrounding them at all times. Like they're showing up to your hotel room. They're following you places. You can't walk out the door because there is going to be a swarming group of people. You constantly need security. That's not the MO today. I think that's like insane now. Like if I saw someone with that lifestyle now, I just feel like we have better boundaries now from like that is like genuinely a Black Mirror episode to constantly be followed and stalked, and it's just the normal thing. And there's a scene in that documentary where Niall is talking to camera in a confessional, and he's like, you want to know why we have the best fans in the world? And he like he stands up within the camera set, and he walks to the end of this long hallway, and he opens a window and leans his head out the window, and there is hundreds, if not thousands, of screams because there is a group of people outside of his hotel. And then he closes the window, because it's soundproof, and he comes back to the interview. That's the most haunting thing I've ever seen in my life. And I'm like, they had a good, like, at the time, it's like, oh, you're so lucky. Oh, you're so lucky that you're so famous. You're so lucky. Now I'm like, that is a cruel way to live a life. You can't leave. There's constantly thousands of people following you. That's a hazard. That is just it's just insane that that's how they lived their life, and they were so young. There's another haunting fucking scene in that documentary where they're interviewing Louis' family, which fucking broke my heart. It fucking broke my heart. They're in his bedroom, his childhood bedroom, like kind of folding a t-shirt or something of his, and they're literally like, this is the first time Louis is coming home since the day he left for his X Factor audition, and it had been maybe like a couple years, and Louis was, I don't even know how old he was. I think he was still a teenager. Can you fucking imagine? I cannot. That's what makes me so emotional, is like, I can't even imagine this actually happening to me. It is a once in a history of the world experience what those men had to go through. I'm not even kidding. It is so dark to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna try to go on this singing competition that's televised. It's so nerve-wracking. I can't imagine doing something like that either. Like, the idea of going on a show like America's Got Talent where you just step on stage is so vulnerable in front of so many people, and then you're judged by critics who are already famous. That seems like the scariest thing you could ever do. And then do that as a teenager, and then to never come home again for a year and a half because your fame has exploded, and now there are people that are constantly outside your hotel room and you can't have a life. You know what I saw in that documentary? I saw, honestly, teenage boys who were extremely naive to what was actually happening. I was I still am a One Direction fan, okay? I went to their concert with 5 Seconds of Summer opening for them, okay? I've been there. I know it. I know those X Factor videos like the back of my fucking hand, okay? I love One Direction, always have, always will. They were my second concert after Big Time Rush, bitch, okay? That being said, I remember truly daydreaming about Zayn and reading Tiger B and reading his interviews, being like, if you're going out with Zayn, then he's probably going to take you out to like a spaghetti dinner. And I'm like, I love spaghetti. I knew I was a Zayn girl, and I would take those pop quizzes. Like, before we had BuzzFeed, we had Tiger B, right? And fantasizing about Zayn all day long. He was like one of my celebrity crushes as a kid. Like, everything I ever did was like, I'm shaving my whole body as a tween to go see Zayn in concert. You know, I loved that man. What I saw in that documentary was like, when they interact with a person in real life, there is a girl with their face on their shirt who is scream sobbing in their face. That was their average interaction. It's just like, they just seemed so naive and young. They just seemed so young to be going through that level of fame. It seems cruel. It literally just seems cruel to me. I don't know. And knowing what we know now about how Liam passed away, and like seeing how they were before, it was just an incredibly dark documentary, but it really did solidify, like, we are making progress with our boundaries with famous people, because it's so unethical the way that those boys were treated. And they at the time were told this is good. Like, a bunch of teenage girls knowing where you live and knowing and constantly knowing your whereabouts at all times so that you can't even leave your hotel room without it being a safety hazard for everyone involved. That's a good thing. You should love that. You're so lucky that you're able to experience this. And it's literally giving, like, Britney Spears, like, this is an unethical level of prying into someone's life to the point that they can't live their life. So to do that as a teenager, going on a TV show like that, you're so commercialized, you're so, like, it's not really you. It's like a characterized version of yourself. It's crazy. And I remember watching it as a little girl, being so lighthearted, being like, I love Zayn, and I love that they're sitting around a campfire talking about their feelings, and like, I love Harry, he's so funny, and watching it so innocently and like just loving them as a fan. And now I'm watching it as like an adult being like, this is horrific, this is unethical, this is cruel, and this is one of the most heartbreaking things I've ever seen in my life, and it's dark. It's deeply dark. And I also just want to add, I've seen Niall live. I love Niall so much, and I always have loved Niall. I think Niall is like truly, I can like sense his energy from, I've never met the man, but like from afar, from my parasocial relationship with him, I can just sense his energy, and I think he's like genuinely a good person. And I know that sounds so fucking earnest and pathetic because I don't know him, but just his aura is of like a true like grounded, genuinely kind, like good person. And that's how I feel about Louis. I recently saw an interview with Louis, like a very recent interview where he's recounting One Direction, he's recounting Liam, he's recounting Zayn leaving the band, and he is like an incredibly emotionally intelligent, articulate person. And I was incredibly impressed with how much of an understanding and how healthy his perspective was of everything. He's incredibly empathetic, and I totally get Louis, girls. And Liam, it's so sad seeing like who he used to be. I used to have such a crush on him when I was a little girl, and I thought he was so funny, and I would rewatch his videos 1,000 times. And so to see what led up to what happened, of like what happened once the band split up, what happened leading up to his passing, it's just tragic. It's so sad, and it's just sad. It's just sad. That's all I can say, is I just feel bad. And he just had such a unique, cruel life, honestly. And I just feel terrible. I feel terrible that he ended up in that situation, and that's how he left this earth. Like, ugh. Like, he was once a little boy who had dreams to be a singer, bitch. It's devastating. It really is. But I'm glad I talked about it, because I watched that alone at night on like a Monday night in my apartment, and it changed my life. And now I get to talk about it. After this, I'm literally going to watch Traitors. Honestly, I'm kind of dreading watching trailers simply because I know Colton is still on the show. I literally don't like him at all, dude. I don't even want to watch it. I'm like, you're telling me Lisa Rinna is gone and fucking Colton is still there? I don't want to watch this show anymore. I'm going to keep watching it because I love Candace, and I love Mark Ballas, and I fucking love Kristen, and I fucking love Johnny Weir, and I fucking love Eric fucking Nam, who I've also seen in concert when he toured in Hawaii, bitch. They don't even know Eric Nam, and I'm like, girl, you're in fucking the presence of South Korean fucking royalty, bitch. Like, Eric Nam is probably the most famous person in that group, maybe neck and neck with Lisa Rinna, like, and Alan Cumming, like that level of fame, girl. I love Eric Nam so much. Oh my fucking god. But yeah, he's in that show, so I am gonna keep on watching it. I think Kristen is so hot. I'm deeply attracted to Kristen on that show. She's very attractive. And I also watched Top Chef growing up, and I love that show. That is probably the sexiest fucking reality show, is Top Chef. There's like a level of like suave and like fucking clean cut fucking shit. It is clean fucking cutthroat in that bitch. I fucking love Top Chef. If I could go on a show, it would be Top Chef as someone that tastes the food and gives a review. I would do that. That's probably the only reality show I would do, is Top Chef as someone who gets to eat the food. Like, I don't know if they have like Food Network events in New York, but if I can go as a free, just average, like run-of-the-mill person, I will seek that out and go, because that's like my last meal, is just like the average competition on Top Chef. I also watched MasterChef Junior as a kid, and I remember literally being 13 watching that show being like, dude, I'm literally already a failure. I'm really like, these kids have already accomplished so much in their life, and I am just like in the suburbs going to middle school. I'm a fucking failure. I'm never ever going to be able to catch up with these MasterChef Junior kids, and I would feel so bad about myself. I now look back thinking, that's crazy. That's literally an insane thing. But it's the truth. That's how I felt. Like, if I saw a kid actor, if I saw, like, a Grace Vanderwaal or a Millie Bobby Brown or, like, a MasterChef Junior kid who was genuinely my same age or even younger than me, at that age, I'd literally be like, I'm a fucking failure. I am a failure, bitch. I'm literally a fucking failure. But now I'm like, bitch, it's all in divine timing. Like, we're chill. Like, I'm just gonna go a little slower. I'm not gonna have my complete, like, I'm not an Olympic athlete at the age of 14, bitch. And that's okay. That's not my journey. But at the time, was like, damn, I'm a fucking failure. Who am I? What am I gonna do with my life? Like, these big ass questions. My mom is coming this weekend, and I'm so excited. And we're going to go get facials. And we're going to go see Little Shop of Horrors with Joshua Bassett and Joy Woods. And I'm extremely excited to see that. I'm also going to go see Chess because my mom saw Chess as a little girl, and we both love Aaron Tveit very deeply. And so we're going to go see Chess. And we're going to go to Ellis Island and do a little historical trip because my mom and I love history and we love art. So we're going to go to museums together because there's a lot of museums in New York that I haven't even been to. And we're going to do that. And I'm very excited. And then I go straight back to work on Monday. It's kind of brutal to do, like, full-on weekend straight back to the 9 to 5. It's crazy, dude. But, hey, it's literally like I'm giving Lady Gaga that's at this time in my life. I'm giving bus, club, another club, no sleep, bus, club, another club. That's how I feel, except I'm working a 9 to 5 and my mom's coming for the weekend. Put your love in where your mouth is. I also want to say, when I was a little girl, I would watch the Oscars with my mom, and my whole family would watch the Oscars, we'd watch the Tonys, we would watch, the Grammys, and I just am like, the more time goes by, the more worthless I fucking think these award shows are, and I'm like, the only one that's actually, I think, valid at all is Las Culturistas awards. That's the only one that I'm like, yeah, that actually makes sense. Kids' Choice, because you know what? Kids' Choice is always on the right side of history. They voted for Obama and they voted for Kamala, bitch. I remember being a kid and going on the Nickelodeon website for the Kids' Choice Awards and voting for, like, if you could vote but you're 7, who would you vote for, Mitt Romney or Obama? And bitch, I voted for Obama even when I was 9. I've always been fucking woke, bitch. And you know what? Obama won on the campaign for the Kids' Choice Awards, and so did Kamala, bitch. And so did Biden, bitch. Okay, I don't know what that says, but I think it says a lot. I think it actually says a lot because kids are making the right choice, but adults can't. That's a real moment of shame that you should feel in your heart if you voted for Trump. But I don't even want to talk about that. I already talked about that last week. I'm still just completely devastated and horrified and just completely shaken by what's continuing to happen. And it's just getting, the more news I hear, and it's getting worse and worse, and it's just like, it's hard to breathe. It honestly feels hard to breathe. So it's hard for me to talk about it. But we need to talk about it because it's not okay, and it's crazy, and it's not okay. For real. But yeah, I just, like, recently with the Grammys, I'm like, I just disagree with everything. The last time I think they got the Grammys right when Casey Musgraves won for Best Album of the Year with Golden Hour. That was the last time I was like, oh, yeah, that's actually true. But every single other award I feel like I've ever fucking seen, I've been like, yeah, I wouldn't have picked that person, or you're literally completely ignoring the person who actually deserves this award. Like, Lana Del Rey, I hate to even do this right now, but I'm gonna fucking do it. The reasons that these award shows have no validity is I'm like, Lana fucking Del fucking Rey doesn't have a Grammy? Okay, dude. Okay, this means nothing. And I'm fucking dead ass fucking serious. Like, I'm fucking serious. I don't give a fuck. And same thing with the Oscars. I'm like, okay, so how convenient that every single year the person that wins the Oscar for female lead actress is just the youngest person in the category. I'm not saying they don't deserve it, but I'm like, And I don't know. I don't mean to tear women down because I don't want to sit here and be like, this person doesn't deserve this award, because I'm like, who the fuck cares? I'm glad you got the award. I'm glad that you have this accomplishment, and that I'm like proud of you for having this award. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, so the men who win leading actor, like, for Oscars, are like these men in their 50s who have had these long careers, who have been making movies for decades and decades and decades, and you're gonna tell me the equivalent of that is a woman who's in her like early mid 20s, who this is her first movie or second movie that's even been nominated for an Oscar at all, and she deserves to win this Oscar? Like, that's the equivalent? I just find it ridiculous. And I'm just like, okay, dude, like, you're not awarding the actual best costume. It's like, let me do the awards, because I'll actually give it to the people who actually deserve it. Michael B. Jordan deserves an award for Sinners. That movie was fucking incredible. He deserves an award for that. And I don't even know who's gonna win, but that's who should win. You know what I mean? And I'm speaking on behalf of everyone in the world. Like, I don't know what's going on with these critical fucking people voting for the Oscars and Grammys and fucking Emmys and Tonys, but I'm telling you the truth. And I actually think, out of all four of those, I still love the Tonys the most, because the Tonys actually... Well, once again, I'm like, who gives a fuck about the Tonys? Because Audra McDonald didn't win an 8th Tony for Gypsy, and she should have. So, you know what I mean? Like, the scale is, we're rocking the scale again. But the Tonys, I actually am like, they're at least, out of the pool of people who could be nominated usually for Tonys, they normally nominate people who I think deserve to be nominated, and I don't feel like they ignore people unless it's an extremely political act, and I don't like when they ignore people. I don't think you should ignore anyone and take every single performance that is on Broadway or a movie or a TV or in a song as a consideration, and equally have that playing field if we were to actually do awards for these categories of art. But nonetheless, it is politics, and that's why the people who win. That's why Las Culturistas is actually the best one, is because it's completely biased, which is all art is subjective, and that's why it's great, is because these other awards shows are pretending to be like, oh, it's not biased, like, let's pretend like we're giving an award to the best actress this year. It's not actually about the best actress this year. It's just who campaigned the most, who paid the most money, who is like on this very tiny group of people, who's the favorite of the year. Like, whatever, man. Fuck you. Okay? But, yeah. I'm a little volatile. I don't mean to be volatile. I love you deeply and dearly, and I'm gonna go. Bye.